Hello, everyone. Dr. Vicky here, speaking to you from the Seeds of Transformation Healing Center. It's time for tarot scopes again. We're going to be doing the tarot scopes to the sign of Sagittarius. That's Sagittarius Sun, Moon, or Rising for the month of August 2025. Now, of course, this year has been very tumultuous, to say the least. Your ruling planet, Jupiter, is now in Cancer. So, Sages are not they're sensitive. They have a sensitivity to them. Um, and strangely enough, a naivete. I think that's true of all the fire signs. Um, they're very we'll say self-referential. It's important for fire signs to know where their energy source is, and so they're very aware of that, and they're doing their creative thing, and every now and again somebody comes in and says something that shocks them. They're like, wait a minute, I was doing my thing and I'm trying to make the world a better place, especially Sag, right? And all of a sudden somebody comes at you and you're like, where'd that come from, right? So that tendency made even more emotionally sort of sensitive because your ruling planet now is in the sign of the moon, Cancer. So a lot of sensitivity, maybe even more than usual. All right. So I usually say before I get started, I want to thank everybody, and I went right into something. So let me do that. Let me thank everybody. Thank you to my new subscribers. You're going to really like this community. It's full of wonderful, loving, and pretty schmat people here. Um, and to my tried and true, have been with me for years. I appreciate you walking this path with me. To my new members on YouTube, thank you for supporting me. There is definitely more fun to come. And to my Patreon folks who have been with me for years now, thank you so much for your continued support. It means the world to me. All right, let's jump into some astrology. So the first thing we're gonna actually look at is just the basic. Hold on one second while I do this. Okay, is this gonna work? No. Okay. So let's just get to August. So I just want to point out a couple of things. We're not going to go through this whole thing. We do have three vibrations energetically or numerologically that we're working with. The 9 universal year vibration. This is a year of separating the wheat from the chaff. We also have the 8 vibration, which is the vibration of the month. That is the strength card in the tarot. It sits here on the tree of life. That actually corresponds with the throat chakra. So we're all finding our voice this month. And good news for you, Sag, right? You have your voice every month, but especially good news. And then when we add those two vibrations together, we get the specific vibration for the month of August 2025, which is the 17-8, the star card. It's a meditation card. It's a card of, it's associated with Aquarius, right? We have Pluto in Aquarius now, and Aquarius and Pluto is a little active this month as it is making an opposition to Venus. That's actually happening on the 27th of August. We'll look at that specifically for you. We have a full moon in the sign of Aquarius. There's another nod to Aquarius and the importance of Aquarius this month. And we have a new moon in the sign of Virgo, right at the first degree of Virgo, right after the sun moves into Virgo. So let's look at this, how this affects your chart. We'll go right to your sagginess. Okay, I moved right past your sagginess. Okay, here we go. So, as we look at this, we can see that there's a lot of activity at the top of the chart here. This is, when you look at a chart, the top half is a releasing energy. It's about putting yourself out there in the world, whereas the lower energy, the lower part of the chart is much more introspective and internal, and not everybody knows what's going on with you. We do have Saturn and Neptune still in Aries, still in that fifth house. They're both moving retrograde now. So they've gone as far forward as they're going to go in 2025. And now they're starting to move backwards, going over the areas that they progressed in. Um, it's your house of creativity and self-expression. So perhaps you've said some things and now you're sort of not necessarily going back on them, but reviewing both what has been said and the response to that. Pluto, of course, is in your third house. It's going to be there for another 18 and a half years. So you'll get used to that. Pluto transforms the lower mind. It's also the place where we have the full moon here, the full moon at 17 degrees of Aquarius with the sun in the ninth house. This is the axis of the mind. The ninth house is the natural house for Sagittarius. You have the sun in Leo there. And so you're going to really be in your element. I mean, if there's an issue that you feel passionately about, especially if it has to do with what's right and what's wrong and things like social justice and truth, you are going to be right out there, right up front with the sun there. We have Jupiter, your ruling planet, moving, actually spending a year in your eighth house. The eighth house is other people's money. This is actually a good time if you want to have backing for a project of some sort, but it is an increase in debt. So you do want to go into that judiciously, right? There's money available, but all the monies have strings on it. And so if you're prepared to pay the piper or pay the price for it, then it's a good time for that. We have Venus in that house, another sort of good energy. The other thing about Jupiter in that particular house is you could actually get an inheritance. Um, in that way. Insurance money, it's connected to insurance, it's connected to inheritance, maybe a tax refund, something like that. And then we have Venus there starting the month and then moving into Leo. Venus moves into Leo on the 25th. So for the most part, Venus is in that eighth house. Now, the eighth house is also a relationship house. It's not just about taxes, death, and death and taxes, not just about that, but it's about passion and compassion and deep emotional connection. And with Venus there, we can expect all of that to be part of your August. Venus then, I said, moves into the ninth house. That's your supercharges, your BS detector. No one's going to take you for a fool. Mercury spends the first part of the month retrograde. It's been actually retrograde since the 18th of July. On the 11th of August, it turns around, goes direct. And so if there have been some things in the realm of maybe planning for a trip or even just the legal stuff, things really start to move forward after the 11th for you. The sun will move into your 10th house, the most public place in Virgo. Your perfectionist tendencies will become obvious to you. Well, they're already obvious to you, right? But this is a time of analysis. And then we have the new moon in Virgo. That new moon is happening on the, let's see, I have it right here. Where is it? On the 23rd. That's the day after the sun moves into Virgo. It says the first degree of Virgo is a man's head. A man's head. That's it. A guy's head. And it says learning what is significant. We have Mars starting the month in Virgo. It was in Virgo all of last month. So you've been doing a lot of analysis. Mars in Virgo is very analytical. It's very much a perfectionist energy. It's going to move into Libra in that 11th house of friends. And so instead of making things perfect, you're more likely to reach out to others for discussion, conversation, um, um, cooperation with Mars and Libra. Mars moves into Libra pretty early in the month on the 6th. As soon as it moves in, however, it does make an opposition. 2 days later, it makes an opposition to Saturn. And so you might have some resistance You might have some resistance, and then it also makes an opposition to Neptune. Because Saturn and Neptune, oops, sorry, because Saturn and Neptune are in your fifth house, it could have something to do with your children. And so you're moving forward, and then something comes up that you either need to be aware of or creates some sort of tension in your life. Let's see, anything else I want to mention? Um, we do on the 26th have an opposition between Pluto and Venus. That is, Pluto and Venus are passionate. They know what they love and they'll fight for it. They take you out for it too, if you want. I mean, like take you out. Yeah, and also take you out, like on a date, perhaps. That's happening on the 26th. It's oppositions are always points of awareness. So you become aware of something. You can become aware of somebody trying to manipulate you, especially in issues of justice. So be aware of that. And then on the 28th, we have a very interesting, actually, there's two interesting things. Let's talk about, I'll talk about the 28th. On the 28th, we have a sextile between Uranus and Neptune. This is the first time that these two planets have been in an aspect, what we call a Ptolemaic aspect, since 1993, when they conjoined 3 times. This is the opening sextile of that conjunction. The opening sextile opens the lines of communication. Because we're dealing with transpersonal planets, it's opening the lines of communication on a much sort of broader level. If there was going to be like aliens coming, like the mothership comes, says, "Hey, we're aliens. Hey, how you doing?" This might be the day. This might be the day. So that is on the 28th. Now there's another sextile happening between Mercury and Mars, and that is actually a waning sextile. That cycle between Mars and Mars Mars and Mercury is a 2-year synodic cycle. So it started about 2 years ago, and now it's come to the point where we're at the time of progressive change and sharing what we know. Now, that's usually a day long. Like that aspect will happen, and it'll happen for a day. Because Mercury's just coming out of retrograde, it's sort of lining up with Mars in a strange sort of way. So that sextile, instead of lasting a day, actually lasts 4. So from the 14th to the 18th, there is a golden opportunity for you to share what you know with others. That can really make a difference for the future of humanity. So just keep that in mind. And of course, we're in a star month, and so it's all about our connection to uh, the broadest possible perspective, right? The stars. We look up to the stars for the answers. And you, my dear Sag, are stars. You're a star. Okay. So let's get out of here. We're going to be doing a card reading using. I have 2 decks here. I'm going to use the Rider Waite. It was that or the Toth, but I figured we'll do the Rider Waite for you guys. We might give the Toth a rest this month. We'll see. We'll see who's the lucky duck who gets the Toth deck. They're all good. All the decks are good. All the decks are good. I've gotten some of the most fantastic readings and readings from the Toth deck. They're just they can be a little complex and harsh. So we're going to keep it simple. All right, what does Sagittarius need to know for the month of August? Show me Sagittarius for August. What would be most helpful? What do we need to know? Okay, that feels good. Maybe one more shuffle like that. All right. What do we got? What do we got? We start with death, transformation. Something is changing. You're letting go of something and you're being reborn to something new. A new dawn is coming. A new dawn is coming. Let's see what's challenging that. Yes, what's challenging that is there's no option. Something is gone and gone and gone. The Ten of Swords can be the end of a way of thinking. It can be thought forms. But there's definitely an ending here. There's definitely an ending. Let's see what's underneath. Oh, good news, the Page of Cups. So this is even though there's loss, underneath it is a new idea, a new sentiment, a message of love. Let's see, in the past, the Wheel of Fortune. So something just recently changed. This is all part. So something changed, something was let go of. You have no option but to let go of it. And ultimately, it's good news, even though it may not feel like good news initially. In the sky, this can be the outer world. We have abuse of power, people being unfair. Nobody wants to play with this guy anymore. He's a jerk and nobody likes him. We'll just leave it at that if you know who I'm talking about. In the immediate future, ooh, we have some. I think you're going to get some money. I think all these cards are indicating that perhaps somebody that you're related to or that you're connected to does pass, and it looks like you're going to be getting some resources from that. Either way, if that is the case, that's the case. But if it's not the case, this is a card that indicates time well spent with family, especially if you're going to organize some sort of financial thing. This is good. How it's seen from the outside. Oh, yeah, you're moving on to your next great adventure, right? They're like, oh, she knows what she has, or he knows what he has, and now he's looking to see how to get the word out. Domestic situation, the Hierophant. This is listening to that small, still voice within. This is wisdom. You have true wisdom in your home, wisdom in your home. Hopes and fears. The Queen of Cups is the psychic queen. She knows what's in the cup without having to open the lid. Um, is that a hope or a fear? If you are nervous about your psychic impressions, it could be that you're nervous because something big is coming, right? But it could also be you're hoping that you're right. So you can decide on that. And we end up with the Tower. The tower, I didn't use the top deck, but we ended up with the Tower. So this is an illumination. Wow, this is a powerful reading for you, Sag. This is a powerful reading for you. Illumination, all the facades are going to come down. You need to be your true self. And your true self comes from your higher self. It is the spirit that is within you. That is what you need to show. And that's what you will be required to show and do and be. Be you. Underneath it all, a new beginning, abundance, and money coming to you that's owed to you. Wow. So again, the cards here talk of surprises, losses, but then gains, like on the other side of having to let go is big gains. So wow. Okay. Well, I'm glad I didn't use the top deck on that. All right. So you're gonna be fine. It's just gonna be quite the month for you, Sag. All right. I'm also using a oracle deck. I've decided to use the Mystic Sister Oracle if I can find what I did with it. I mean, I put it in front of me and then I lose it. How does that happen? Okay, now where are you, Mystic Sisters? I'm sorry, that's taking me so long to find it. What? It wasn't in plain sight, at least. I put it down where there was space and it was out of my line of view. Okay. All right, Mystic Sister Oracle, what advice do you have for Sagittarius for the month of August 2025? August 2025. Aphrodite, mighty Aphrodite. Okay, looks like love is in the air, every sight and every sound. Love is in the air. Okay, passion, beauty, and desire. Such a beautiful card, isn't it? She does such beautiful work. This is Emily Balivet. Passion, beauty, desire, the goddess Aphrodite bodes well for your direct experience of love, charm, and your eye for beauty. Aphrodite enhances awareness of your personal aesthetic pleasures. She heightens a desire for love, whether it be between you and your partner, or perhaps an increase of love in your heart towards yourself and everything you delight in. To be in the right space to experience the gifts of Aphrodite, it is necessary to be fully present in the moment, and you must believe that you are truly worthy of love. Drawing this card is a call to open your heart, forgive transgressions by yourself and your loved ones, and to position yourself to give and receive love more fully. So, yes. You deserve love. You are love. You are amazing. All right, guys, that's the story, Morning Glories. Thank you so much for joining me. Just a quick announcement. In September, I'm going to be starting another introduction to the Kabbalah. If you like the system that I use and you want to know what is all this Kabbalah stuff about, it might be worth your while to take a look. So that's going to be happening in September. Likely we'll start the second or third week of September. I have to look at the actual calendar to know. But I'm starting the announcement now, so you can put it on your calendar. All right, guys, have a great month. Much love to you all. Namaste.